gymnasium matchup as we have the visiting Air Force Prep Huskies taking on the home squad, the Laramie County Community College Golden Eagles. Once again, we're live here at LCCC Gymnasium. Tip-off set to take place here in about 3.5 minutes. I've got Cody with me. Cody, welcome.
Thank you, Jose. How are you doing tonight?
Doing well, doing well. We have the Golden Eagles who are coming off a matchup where they just were on the road out of Scotts Bluff, where they took the floor against Western Nebraska Community College. Fell short 93-88, but had a stellar performance from Gavin Peppers.
Absolutely. Gavin was great. He was 8 for 17 from the floor. He had two offensive rebounds, 6 defensive rebounds, 1 assist. He's had a great second half of the season. He's really came on strong.
Gavin's one of those players who kind of generates the floor for the Golden Eagles. 34 points this last game. Well, what stood out to me was the 14 for 14 from the foul line. A team as the Golden Eagles only come in shooting about 66% from the foul line. Gavin was able to step up to the line and go 14 for 14 in the last matchup.
Absolutely, 100% for the foul line is amazing, no matter who's doing it.
As for the Golden Eagles, we mentioned they step out of Region 9 play. We currently sit in second place behind Otero Junior College. Otero Junior College currently 8-0 in Region 9. The Golden Eagles are sitting at 6-4. And this is a week where the Golden Eagles are able to kind of recover, rest those legs a little bit. We'll jump back into the home schedule next Wednesday when they host Trinidad State Junior College. That game will also be covered here by Laramie County Community College and the Wingspan Network. And Cody, as we look at tonight's matchup, it's key for the Golden Eagles. We've talked about Peppers a little bit, but one of the players that's also been kind of stepping up for the Golden Eagles is Dominic Heinzel, the freshman from Czech Republic.
Absolutely. Dominic's going to have to step up in the center of the court and get some rebounds and get some layups off those rebounds, and on the defense as well. He's definitely going to have to step up, get some defense going, and get some rebounds going off the board.
Heinzel, one of those players whose game has developed over the season. One of the international players that's on this Golden Eagle roster, but such a presence physically down low. A very, very strong individual for his size. I mean,
definitely, he wins a lot of tips, and he definitely wins a lot of the battles off the board as well.
He comes in here and just secures such a wide frame. The 6'7" freshman out of Usav, Czech Republic. Look for him to have a big performance this evening.
A few other players that we might want to look for to have a good big night tonight be Josh McNair, Michael Obindu, Isaiah Sherman-Newsom. They've also had some really good games this season, and definitely are players to watch on this squad.
These two teams squared off earlier in the year in November, where the Huskies were able to secure a 2-point victory, 70-68. What are we going to have to look for from the Golden Eagles into this matchup?
Well, like I said, we're going to have to look for big men down the middle to get the rebounds and to get those points off those rebounds and get the assists to the players on the outside that can make those jump shots from the field goals. And hopefully maybe they can hit a little more from the three-point line because they've been relatively weak there. That would definitely help them take the win tonight.
And that's a huge strength the Golden Eagles provide is the offensive rebounding. They attack the offensive glass, coming in, I believe, 34th in the country in the offensive boards. We're going to step away, allow the PA announcer for the introduction of the national anthem.
Welcome, basketball fans, to the Eagle Nest of Laramie County Community College for tonight's matchup between the Huskies of Air Force Prep and your Golden Eagles. Would everyone please rise for the play of our national anthem? Fans, introducing the Huskies. 6'3" guard number 3, Sid Tones. 6'6" forward number 20, Lavelle Scotty. 6'7" forward number 21, Garrett Sheep.
Once again, we're live back here at LCCC Gymnasium for this non-conference matchup. The host, Laramie County Community College Golden Eagles welcome the Air Force Prep Huskies.
The Huskies are coached by Bob Cabrera, assisted by
So Cody, as we look over the starting lineups, now we've got for the Air Force Prep Huskies, we've got 6-foot guard from St. Paul, Minnesota, number 3, Sid Tomes. Number 20, Lavelle Scotty, the 6'6" freshman from Fort Worth, Texas. A 6'7" freshman from Las Vegas, Nevada, number 21, Garrett Shear. A 6'4" guard from San Diego, California, number 23, Caleb Morris. And a 6'6" forward from Carmel, Indiana, number 31, Keegan Culp. The Huskies are coached by Bob Cavera and assisted by Mark Fulham. For the Golden Eagles, their starting lineup: a 6'2" sophomore from Brookville, Maryland, number 11, Gavin Peppers; a 6'6" freshman from Denver, Colorado, number 12, Josh McNair; a 6'3" sophomore from Anchorage, Alaska, number 24, Isaiah Sherman Newsom; a 6'7" freshman from Uzav, Czech Republic, number 32, Dominic Heinzel; and a 6'8" freshman from Ibusa, Nigeria, number 33, Michael Obendu. The Golden Eagles are coached by Jason Ficca, assisted by Dwayne Salisbury and Chris McGill.
The Air Force Prep's head coach is Bob Cabrera, associate head coach Mark Fulham, and assistant coaches are the local Earls and Justin Hammonds.
And the Huskies will be in the navy blue with the silver and white trim. Golden Eagles will be in the white with the yellow and navy blue trim.
We have number 32, Dominic Heinzel, and number 20, Lavelle Scotty, getting ready on the tip off.
Huskies secure the tip. Ball in the hands of Morris. Morris swings it across to Thomas. Back to Morris. Shear. Morris looks to drive, gets into the paint, off the glass and good, and the Huskies on the board first with a 2-0 lead.
Now we have Gavin Peppers, number 11, driving down the court.
Huskies appear to be in the zone.
Kicks it off
Sherman.
Isaiah. He's down to Michael. Oh.
And Heinzel with the turnaround jumper, and that was a great feed right there by Sherman Newsom to find Heinzel in the paint.
Absolutely beautiful pass. Air Force is driving again. They're down in the paint. Sid Tomes has, he shoots it up. Oh, and he puts it down for 3.
And early on, Huskies 2 for 2 from the field.
Eagles have it again.
Sherman Newsom, top of the key, off to McNair. McNair coming off of a screen. Picks up his dribble underneath to Heinzel. Heinzel backing down, turnaround jumper, and good. And what's been key so far, Cody, what's been key for Heinzel down low on the block?
He's doing what he needs to do. He's getting down there under the paint, and he's getting up close to the rim and putting up the shots when he can.
Got a personal foul on the Golden Eagles, number 32, Dominic Heinzel. That'll be his first, team's first. And you mentioned it. Heinzel does such a great job of getting himself low enough on the block and using that body. So once he catches the ball down low, all he has to do is turn around and put it up there.
Absolutely. He's got a very wide base. He's very tall, and he can just put that hook shot jumper up there, no problem.
Ball reversal, ball in the hands of Shear. Shear. Off to Culp. Culp underneath to Morris. Back to Shear.
2 more for Air Force Prep. 7-4 Air Force.
That ball movement by the Huskies early on has kind of been crucial for them.
Absolutely, and that 3-pointer. Now Josh McNair driving, kicks it out to Gavin Peppers. Gavin Peppers drives, kicks it out to Isaiah, shoots. Oh, and off the rim. Air Force gets the rebound. They're on the fast break. They're driving. And number 23 puts it down, Caleb Morris.
And we'll take a timeout, Golden Eagle timeout, 30-second timeout. We'll be right back.
To try to gather themselves and figure out what's gone wrong early in this first half. One 3-pointer.
And just had great looks so far to the basket. I believe 6 of their points have been right around the basket.
Absolutely. Now LCCC is driving. Gavin just kicked it out to Josh McNair, and Josh McNair's fouled on the drive.
They're going to call that foul on the floor. That'll be charged to Lavelle Scotty. That's going to be his first, team's first. Pepper set to inbound on the baseline. Off to Sherman Newsom in the corner. Looks to be doubled back into the hands. Looks to be picked off by Thomas. Huskies out in front. Morris looks to drive. His shot's up, no good. Last tip by, I believe it went off the hands of McNair.
Yes, it was McNair. Air
Possession.
Force ball.
Culp set to inbound on the baseline. Out top to Morris.
Tomes back to Morris. Back to Tomes. Out to Keegan. Keegan Culpin, 31. He kicks out to Lavelle Scotty, and Scotty kicks it back. That's up to Sid Tomes. Sid Tomes gets right back to Caleb Morris. Really good pass in the ball by Air Force tonight.
3 on the
3
shot.
seconds, 2. Gets it up. Oh.
And just as we both thought the shot clock was going to expire, he's able to see it fire up to 3, and the Huskies have their largest lead of 8.
And they continue to do well shooting from the field.
Sherman Newsom hands it off to McNair. McNair looks to drive. Spin move, gets into the paint. Shot, falls short. Rebound by Thomas. And now he's off on the running. Kicks it out to Culp. Culp with the left-hand side. Underneath to Scotty. Morris. Culp. Back to Morris. Left-hand side.
And that's an out-of-bounds pass there.
Shear caught the ball. Ball was above his head, caught down, and came down on the line. Checking in for the Golden Eagles will be number 30, Ola Ayodele. Ayodele, the 6'4" freshman from London, England. Golden Eagles kind of need to get a little spark going. Wouldn't you agree, Cody?
Absolutely. I think they need to get some passes underneath and maybe get some easier shots instead of trying to take these deep shots from outside and field goals.
McNair, right-hand side, back to Peppers. Peppers, Ayodele, underneath to Heinzel. Heinzel, spin move, off the glass and good. And Heinzel, so far, 3 for 3 from the field and has all Golden Eagles 6 points.
Excellent drive into the hoop there.
You know, and Heinzel's such a great kid as well. He comes in, puts in the work in the weight room. He's putting in the gym. Every time I see him, he's in the gym. He's a great kid as well off the floor. Scotty underneath. Laying no good by Tones. Rebound by McNair. McNair brings it across the half. Pull up off to Peppers. Underneath to Jerry Luckett, who drives baseline. Reverse lay-in is up and good.
Beautiful layup there. Beautiful reverse layup from underneath.
And that was just great footwork underneath. He's able to get his defender to bite one way, drives the baseline in the reverse lay-in.
And he's got 1 on the shot. And so far, Luckett is 1 for 1 from underneath. And what is his free throws?
comes in on the season shooting 65% from the foul line. Shot falls short on the three-point play. Possession off to the Huskies.
Number 31, inbounding it to number 23, Garrett Shear. Back to Keegan Culp. Back to Garrett Shear.
Golden Eagles showing a half-court trap. Dribbles right out of bounds. Possession going right back to the Golden Eagles.
That'd be a little bit more heads up on those fancy moves there.
And what was neat there is the Golden Eagles were able to show that half-court trap, kind of caught Morris off guard and forced the turnover.
Absolutely. When he put the spin move, he definitely didn't realize where he was in space.
McNair on the right-hand side. Off to Ayodele. Back to McNair, who's looking to find Luckett underneath on the block. Ayodele looks to penetrate.
Ayodele holds it up.
Back to Heinzel. 8 on the shot clock. Peppers looks to drive left-hand side. Ayodele drive. Heinzel, shots no good off the left side. Rebound by McNair. Back into the hands of Pepper, who looks to get the offense set.
Peppers drives it. Takes it out. Ayodele.
Peppers left wide open on the left-hand side for the three and knocks it down.
Excellent shot from the far side by Gavin Peppers.
And Cody, how does a player like Gavin Peppers get himself so wide open?
I have absolutely no idea. It looked like they were playing their zone, and the man just lost him in space.
And we talked about the offensive rebounding that the Golden Eagles can provide. And right there, that showed key. You know, they created a second chance opportunity. And they're going to call a reach-in foul. I believe they're going to call Peppers on that one. They are. Peppers will be charged for the reach-in. That's his first, team second.
And number 10, Alfonso Anderson checked in, as well as
Sherman Newsom looks to be checking in as well for the Golden Eagles. Are returning. Ball in the hands of the Huskies. Morris off to Culp. Into the hands of Wells. Wells hands it off to Christmas. Back to Morris. Back to Christmas. Christmas underneath. Ball's deflected. Shots up and good. I believe it was Scotty. And the Huskies back to a three-point lead. 14-11 as we're at 13:38 remaining here in this first half. Ayodele. Sherman Newsom, left-hand side. Luckett. Back to Newsom. Ayodele. Sherman Newsom fires a three. Falls short. Rebound secured by Wells. Wells. Off to Christmas. Christmas. Kicks off to Morris. Back to Christmas. Back to Morris. Morris. Left-hand side to Culp. Back into Morris. Swings it across to Christmas. Christmas. Underneath. Scotty. Shots up no good. Anderson secures the board, and now Anderson's going to look to run. Gets across the half. Ball in the hands of Ayodele. Swing pass over to Sherman Newsom. Back to Ayodele. Off the screen. Back in the hands of Sherman Newsom. Looks like the Golden Eagles are trying to get something down low on the block. Isn't that right, Cody?
Absolutely, but the defense is holding them from getting in there.
Almost inviting them to shoot from the perimeter. They're kind of almost double teaming the guys down low on the block.
Yeah, they're holding them to what seems to be their weakness on the deeper shots, on the three-point shots. And LCCC, like we said earlier, has not been the best at shooting from deep.
Checking in for the Golden Eagles will be number 15, Nassim Hadrab, the 6'9" sophomore from Brampton, Canada. Ayodele underneath to Hadrab, off the glass and good. And that's his first touch of the game and his first basket of the game. Christmas. Off to Tones. Culp. Golden Eagles in the zone. Back in the hands of Culp, top of the circle. Christmas puts the ball on the ground. Ball's picked off by Luckett.
Excellent steal by
Luckett.
Luckett.
Pass ahead to Ayodele, who can't quite secure it. And a turnover on the Golden Eagles.
They got a little overexcited on that and threw the pass a little too hard, it looked like. But I'm sure that won't be the first or the last steal by these Golden Eagles tonight. They have some excellent defense sometimes.
But you like seeing the Golden Eagles trying to get some points out in transition, getting to run the floor.
Absolutely. We can never fault them for the aggressiveness.
Culp coming off the screen. Over to Tomes. In the corner. Nick Wells, three-pointers up and good, and I believe he's fouled. Hadrab is going to be charged for the personal. Basket's good. Nick Wells.
Nick Wells going to the line.
The 6'7" freshman from Marietta, Georgia, has a chance to complete the 4-point play.
Luckett with the rebound and kicks it out to Ayodele.
Ayodele over to Sherman Newsom. Sherman Newsom finds Luckett, who's going to attack the basket, laying up and good. And it's the first time we've kind of seen the Huskies show a little bit of a three-quarter, full-court press type look, and the Golden Eagles able to break it. But as we look at the previous game against Western Nebraska, it looked like Luckett had come off the bench and showed great contribution for the Golden Eagles. Wouldn't you say, Cody?
Absolutely. He was 4 for 6 from field goals, and he had one offensive
another three-point basket for the Huskies as Tomes knocks down the three, pushes the lead back to 5. Anderson, left-hand side. Ayodele, Sherman Newsom finds Luckett. Luckett with the pump fake, hands it off to Hadrab, and a great feed right there by Luckett.
Once again, Hadrab's very strong underneath the basket.
All created, though, by the pump fake and drive by Jerry Luckett to free up Hadrab underneath.
Absolutely, great assist.
Ball back into the hands of the Huskies, and it looked to be last touch by the Huskies. Possession going to the Golden Eagles. Great hands right there by Ayodele to anticipate the pass and have it last touched. I believe it went off the hands of Culp last for the Huskies.
Absolutely. Ayodele tipped it first, and then Culp tipped it out of bounds.
Returning for the Huskies, the 6'4" guard from San Diego, California, Caleb Morris. Sherman Newsom inbounds to Ayodele. Anderson. Sherman Newsom underneath to Luckett. Luckett. Head fake. Looks to drive baseline. He's going to step on the line. Turnover possession going to the Huskies. Peppers set to return for the Golden Eagles.
Once again, their strong defense underneath has slowed him down. Put him out of bounds when he was trying to drive in for the layup.
Huskies bring the ball across the half. Tomes. Off to Morris. Knock loose.
Anderson with the steal. Oh, but the Golden Eagles didn't recover it.
Tomes, left-hand side off to Culp. Culp off the dribble. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Morris off to Shear. Back to Morris. Underneath. Turn around.
And Nassim Hadrab was going to be called for the foul underneath.
That's going to be Hadrab's second. And they're going to call him with the body, it looks like. That's going to send Swan Ford to the line, shooting 2.
Foul number 15, Nassim Hadrab, second personal, fourth on the Golden Eagles.
Swan Ford, the 6'7" freshman, or 6'7", yeah, from Denver, Colorado, knocks down the first.
He was 3 for 6 in the last game.
Returning for the Golden Eagles, number 33, Michael Obendu, the 6'8" freshman from Ibusa, Nigeria.
Puts up the second shot, and he drills it.
Lead pushed back to 5. Huskies showing that full court zone press. Golden Eagles able to beat it. Finds Isaiah Sherman Newsom. Hands it off to Obendu. Obendu off the glass and good. And so far, the Golden Eagles have been successful with the Huskies showing that kind of half-court, three-quarters trap.
Oh, and Anderson with the steal. Drives. Oh, off the rim.
Unable to complete the dunk was Anderson, and the Huskies look to recover on the other end. And they're going to call a traveling violation on the Huskies. McNair set to return for the Golden Eagles. That's right, 9:29 remaining here in this first half. Air Force Prep Huskies 22, Golden Eagles 19. Peppers brings it across the half. Off to McNair, right-hand side. McNair comes off an Obadu screen into the hands of Sherman Newsom. McNair flares out. Puts the ball on the floor to Peppers. Peppers looks to drive baseline. Ball seemed to touch the baseline. So back-to-back, or 2 out of the last 3 possessions for the Golden Eagles have resulted in turnovers.
Holmes kicks it out. To Christmas. Christmas to Morris.
Scotty hands it over to Tomes. Tomes puts the ball on the floor. Cole. Swan Ford ball knocked loose, picked up by
Newsom with Peppers with the steal, actually.
Look to try to get McNair with the alley-oop. It's a little too high, and now Tomes
broken.
looks to drive. Shots up, no good. Last touch by the Huskies. Possession going back to the Golden Eagles. Checking in for the Golden Eagles, number 5, Thomas Trotman, the 5'9" sophomore from Denver, Colorado. And the game's kind of been a little chaotic over the last 3-4 minutes. Cody, wouldn't you agree with a couple turnovers from both ends?
Absolutely.
And not quite any quality good looks.
There's been some wild passes, and there's been a little bit of inattention underneath the basket when they're driving the ball.
And an excellent drive right there by Gavin Peppers. And they're going to call a delay of game warning on the Golden Eagles. I believe it was after he laid it in, kind of knocked the ball out of the way.
Yeah, it was after the play, so they will get the 2 on that.
Lead cut to 1 for the Huskies, 22-21. Ball in the hands of Tomes. Tomes swings it up over to Scotty. Swan Ford off to Shear. Shear's 3 is no good. Board secured by Peppers.
Peppers drives hard.
Sherman Newsom is going to drive, kicks it out to Obendu. Obendu squares up, shot, and good.
Beautiful fadeaway from the
And a great look right there by Sherman Newsom to find Obendu, who steps out and knocks down the jumper.
Absolutely, that was a great assist and a great fadeaway shot.
Timeout by the Huskies. We'll step away. Come back here shortly.
Golden Eagle Heritage takes opportunity of racing corporate sponsors, Shine and Light Fuel and Power, Western Vista, making focused on you, and Union Wireless. Back at LCCC Gymnasium, where the Golden Eagles have a 1-point lead, 23-22, with 7:51 remaining. I'm joined by Laramie County Community College Athletic Director Scott Noble. Scott, thanks for joining us.
Hey, you betcha. What a great night. Actually get to do some web streaming, involve our students and our wingspan class. This is awesome.
We've got the mass media students, and it's a wonderful opportunity for a lot of them as they get to get all assets of the fields. They get to work the cameras, they get to commentate, and they also get to direct a little bit. So wonderful field-on experience to offer here at LCCC.
You betcha. Excited about it, and hopefully we can continue it, add some events for next year as well.
And Scott, looking forward, you've been around for 6 months now here at Laramie County Community College. How has your experience been so far?
I'll tell you what, I love it. Great people, love the college atmosphere. it's some exciting things that are getting ready to happen for us, and the building on our campuses. Every day I drive by, there's something new happens on campus, and that's exciting. We've had a great recruiting class with our volleyball program, our women's soccer program, our men's soccer program. Really strong recruiting classes there. So we are excited about the future here at LCCC.
And what are some of those things that you're looking forward to in the future?
Well, I know where you're going with this, Jose. We are excited about the possibility of adding some sports, and it's no secret that we're looking at women's basketball, and hopefully here over the next couple of months we'll be able to make an announcement, start adding some programs to our sports teams, and women's basketball is a no-brainer for me. And with our community's great support, I think it'll be a great thing to add to our programs.
And in those plans, there's some plans within the facilities as well, right?
Boy, howdy, you've got all the secrets, don't you? You betcha. Anytime we can meet some of our strategic planning, which on campus does involve the renovation of some facilities. And once we, again, get our community to support some of these ideas and conceptions that we have in terms of renovating facilities, some newer facilities, creating more space with new dorms, adding more students to campus is of course going to take some more beds. And so all of that all ties together, and I don't mind being the one that kicks over that first domino, if you know what I mean. So we're excited about the possibilities, and I think within the next 3 to 5 years, you're going to see some great changes here at LCCC.
Scott, one final question. I know you're a big Chiefs fan, so I have to ask, though, who are you going to be pulling for in the Super Bowl?
I'll tell you what, I've got to go with Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos. Peyton Manning is such a class guy, high-quality guy, and have a lot of respect for him. And you got to stay with the AFC West, don't you? You got to stay home with the AFC West. So I'm going to say this one time and one time only: go Broncos.
Well, Scott, thanks for joining us here on the set, and we appreciate you. And I know we're happy here at the college to have you.
Well, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for what you're doing, and good luck with the rest of your broadcast.
Thank you. That's Scott Noble, Athletic Director of Laramie County Community College. So we're back live here on the floor. Golden Eagles with a 3-point lead, 26-23. Possession in the hands of the Huskies.
The Golden Eagles put on quite the defensive show in the last few minutes while we were talking to Scott.
And in that little segment that we were breaking apart, I think they caused 2 or 3 turnovers from the Huskies, but the Huskies answered right back with Morris of a 3.
There were 3 turnovers that all led to points in that little bit of time.
And we're all knotted back up 26-26, 5:35 remaining here in this first half.
Newsom has the ball. Gets back to Peppers. Peppers still cruising around, trying to get something going, trying to make something happen. He drives, he shoots, and it's off the rim, and Air Force rebounds.
Christmas looks to bring it across the half. He's going to drive. Looked like he was going to go up to the basket. Looked to hand it off to Shear. Last touch, though, off the Golden Eagles, off the hands of Glasscock. Returning for the Huskies will be Culp, the 6'6" forward from Carmel, Indiana. Sets inbound on the baseline. Culp. Out to Morris. Morris back to Culp, left-hand side. Into the hands of Christmas. Christmas over to Culp. Shot up, no good. Excuse me, by Shear. Last shot by Shear. McNair drives down the lane, and they're going to wave the basket off and call it on the floor. Personal foul will be charged to Garrett Shear. That's going to be his second. Boy, does McNair make it look easy just going to the basket.
Absolutely, especially on that play. Unfortunately, he was fouled before he could get the shot down.
And McNair, the 6'6" freshman, really provides a lot of length.
Absolutely. He kicks it out back to McNair. McNair kicks to Newsom. Newsom kicks it back to McNair. McNair to Peppers. Peppers has the ball. Looking to set up something at the top of the lane there. Kicks it out to Newsom again. And Hines was fouled on the pass.
And I believe they're going to call Keegan Culp with that one. Oh, they're going to get Will Christmas with the personal. That's going to be his second. That'll be the team's sixth. So the next foul on the Huskies will send the Golden Eagles for a 1-and-1 opportunity. And this is something we'll have to keep an eye on as the game progresses. You know, the Huskies, with only 3 guys on the bench for subs, how will the legs, 1, hold up, and 2, who's going to get into some foul trouble?
Yeah, absolutely. They can definitely find themselves in foul trouble very soon if they keep it up that way.
McNair attacks the paint. Kind of a confusing, discombobble play in the paint. They're going to call that last off the Huskies. Possession will stay with the Golden Eagles in 16 seconds on the shot clock. Peppers set to inbound. Finds McNair. McNair back to Peppers. Peppers uses a screen. Looking to create some space. McNair is going to fire the 3. No good.
In and out.
Rebound by Tomes. Tomes. Off to Shear. Shear. Finds Swan Ford down low on the block. Swan Ford squares up to the basket. Turnaround fake. Great footwork right there by Swan Ford.
That was some beautiful footwork right there.
Able to get the inside position on Heinzel and then also finish with looked almost like a finger roll lay-in.
Yes. It's an amazing turnaround there.
Peppers.
Kicks to Heinzel. Heinzel's foul. Oh, he's not fouled. Air Force gets the ball back and they're driving.
Driving lay-in and Swan Ford with the throwdown. And the Huskies a 4-point lead, 30-26, as we're under 3:30 remaining here in this first half. They're going to get a kick by the Huskies. Possession will stay with the Golden Eagles. Sherman Newsom inbounds to Peppers. Huskies showing a bit of a trap, and they're going to call a traveling violation on Peppers. And we're seeing more turnovers in this first half from the Golden Eagles than we're usually accustomed to seeing. Isn't that right, Cody?
Absolutely. Usually they're a lot more under control of the ball. Their passes are more crisp. It looks like, I don't know, it seems like they might be getting a little bit frustrated out there. Maybe they need to go at halftime, calm down a little bit, make some adjustments, come back in.
Baskets up and good by Morris. Fouled on the way up. So he has an opportunity to complete the 3-point play. That foul is going to be charged to Heinzel. That's going to be his second personal, team 7th. And the lead pushed back to 6 with Morris.
Air Force has the lead, 32-26 for the Eagles.
And Caleb Morris, the last time these two teams squared off, was the leading scorer for the Huskies. Came in and scored 14 points on 5 of 9 shooting from the field. 3 of those baskets, though, were from the 3-point line. So the Huskies, a team that can be dangerous shooting from the 3-point line.
And he's also been dangerous from the free throw line today. He just hit that one, no problem.
7-point Huskies lead. Peppers. Head fake off to Sherman Newsom, who's able to secure the ball. Puts it on the floor. Off to Luckett. Luckett, his pass is tipped away by Shear. Morris off to Tomes. Tomes, ball on the floor. Off to Culp. Culp underneath to Shear. Shear puts the ball on the floor. Morris fires the 3, falls short. Sherman Newsom with the board, and now out on the floor on the run. He's going to attack the basket. They're going to call a blocking foul, so Sherman Newsom will go to the line and shoot 2. I believe Caleb Morris is the one that's going to be charged with the foul. Indeed it is. And that's Morris's first foul, team 7th, and Sherman Newsom at the line.
Sherman Newsom is 65.7% from the field or from the free throw line. Let's see how he does right here tonight. He nails the first one.
As a team, the Golden Eagles shoot 66.3% from the free throw line, but shot extremely well in their last matchup with Western Nebraska, as they were 85.4% from the foul line.
And Sherman Newsom hit both of his shots on that foul.
Lead cut down back to 5. Morris off to Tomes. Tomes to Shear. Shear looks to drive, kicks it out to Culp. Culp wide open for 3. Rattles in and out, but Shear with the offensive board and the putback. The lead back to 7. Peppers. Right-hand side, gets it across the half. Sherman Newsom, back to Peppers. Peppers, head fake. And they're going to call a traveling violation on Peppers. Some confusion there. Initially there was a call that was going to be a technical issue to the bench. That's been corrected and changed to a bench warning on the Golden Eagles bench. So all a little confusion, but all sorted out amongst the officials. Ball back into the hands of Morris. And now they're going to call a foul down low on the block on number 11, Gavin Peppers. That's going to be his second. And with 1:38 remaining here in this first half, it's going to be key for the Golden Eagles to maintain their composure and not necessarily try to get frustrated by the lack of success here in this first half.
Absolutely. There's no reason to get frustrated. It's only a 7-point difference, and I've seen this team come back from a much more significant amount than that after halftime in previous games.
And now the technical has been issued to the Golden Eagles head coach, Jason Ficka, picking up the technical foul. But I tell you what, oftentimes a team will pick up a technical foul, but that also fires up the squad to kind of pick up the momentum and answer back.
That can definitely light a fire underneath the team. I've seen it happen many times, and it's also lit a fire underneath the crowd over there.
Culp knocks down the free throw. Has one more coming up for the technical. He knocks down both of them. And now we'll go back to the line to shoot the second.
And Culp goes 3 for 3 on the technical shooting free throw line there.
And ultimately a 4-point play right there for the Huskies, and they have their largest lead of the game, 39-28. Ayodele to Sherman Newsom. Sherman Newsom puts the ball on the floor. Ball knocked loose. Obendu secures it. Luckett attacks the basket and is fouled on the way up to the hoop. Not sure who they called the foul on.
I did not see either. Let's see, number 35.
That's going to be Ryan Swan Ford. His first. Luckett knocks down the first. Luckett on the year comes in shooting 65.1% from the foul line.
He's having a good night from there tonight.
Knocks down the second. Tomes outlets it to Culp. Culp for 3. And poor defensive transition right there by the Golden Eagles. Didn't recover quick enough and left Culp wide open.
And that takes the lead up to 12.
There, attacks the basket. Shot up, no good.
But he was fouled on the way up.
We're going to call that on Sid Tomes. His second.
Josh McNair shooting 2.
And Josh McNair is 53.8% on the year from the free throw line. Let's see if he can improve on that right now.
No good on the first.
And he prepares to take his second shot.
Second shot up, no good. 0 for 2. McNair from the line. Huskies secured the board. Ball in the hands of Wells. Wells attacks the basket. Laying off the glass is good. Largest lead of the game for the Huskies, 14, 44-30. So we're under a minute remaining. Ayodele off to Sherman Newsom. Back to Ayodele. And a turnover by the Golden Eagles.
Small mental mistakes are really hurting the Golden Eagles in this first half.
Morris off to Wells. Wells back to Morris. Hands off to Wells. Morris. They're going to call foul down low on the block on Obendu. That'll be Michael Obendu's first personal. Team's 10th, and that's going to send Ryan Swan forward to the line, 4-2.
On the Golden Eagles, Ryan Swan Ford shooting 2.
And he nails the first one. He's having a great night from the free throw line. He misses the second. Newsom kicks it out to Ayodele. He's driving.
Look for the Golden Eagles to just settle for one shot. Down
Absolutely.
15. Wait, run the clock down. Settle for one shot. Try to cut this lead into the half. They're going to call a foul. That's going to send McNair to the line for 2. As we're in the double bonus. And they're going to call that on Swan Ford. That's going to be his second. So a handful of Huskies that have 2 personal fouls in this game.
And once again, McNair's 53.8 from the free throw line this year. And he misses his first.
0 of 3 on the evening is McNair from the foul line. If you're the Golden Eagles, you do not want to commit a foul leading into the half and send the Huskies to the line.
McNair hits the second.
Off to Morris. Morris, bounce pass. Lay-in is good. 2 seconds left. And at the half, the Air Force Prep Huskies 47. Your Laramie County Community College Golden Eagles 31. Cody, what's your take on this first half so far?
Looked like to me towards the end of the first half, the Golden Eagles were getting very frustrated. Their mental mistakes were increasing, and they just need to make some simple adjustments at halftime to come out swinging again, come out composed, and playing smart basketball again, not making the small mental mistakes.
And we're going to go ahead and step away, take a break for halftime, and join you here shortly for the start of the second half.
Hi, I'm Katie Wells, and this is my LCCC story. I was born in Maryville, Missouri. I was a pretty cute baby, and then I went to Minnesota for just a little bit. Then I moved to South Dakota for 8 years. Oh, and that's the fish hatchery. You know, the fish need some bubbles. And finally ended up in Cheyenne, Wyoming. Growing up, I always dreamed about becoming a princess, but after some doctor's appointments, that seemed like a fun career too. Growing up with two brothers, I learned I didn't want to be a princess anymore and got into sports. I played all of the sports but wasn't good at them all. I was really just good at soccer. I liked soccer so much I played for Cheyenne Central High School. Go Indians and Plug the Duck. Is that how you draw braids? I did well in school and had lots of good friends. See, we're even holding hands. I got involved doing yearbook and DECA, and I got to go to Disney World, but was eager to move on to do something bigger and different. So I took extra classes and graduated early, but I still didn't know what I wanted to do for a career, so I applied to go to Ecuador through the Rotary Youth Exchange and got to take my first trip out of the country. Is that a plane or is that a bumblebee? And when did Ecuador become a square? While I was there on a Skype call home, my mom got me thinking about college applications. I looked into UW, CU, CSU, and a few others that were kind of expensive. My mom didn't crush those dreams, but essentially said, "How poor do you want to be?" Thanks, Mom. My dad made the grand suggestion that I look at LCCC. He had taken classes there and said it would be a good place to figure out what I wanted to do. Plus, they had great scholarships and would bring me back home, which I didn't really like, to be honest. But come home I did, and I became a golden eagle at LCCC. This is the only way I know how to draw birds. It's an eagle, I promise. I was worried there wouldn't be much else to do, and I would be bored a lot, but I was happy to discover lots of opportunities to get involved. I joined the campus activities board and made lots of friends and helped plan some fun events. Balloons. From there, I got involved in student government, which was great because I was an executive and learned a lot of life skills and became a voice for the students. And I really got connected with LCCC staff members, which landed me a job in the Admissions and Welcome Center as an orientation leader, helping other students become a Golden Eagle. That's still a Golden Eagle. During all this, I of course was also going to classes to get my Associate of Arts in General Studies, which I was so happy to complete and graduate in 2014. Yay! Yay! With all these experiences, I finally learned what I wanted to study at my next stop at the University of Wyoming, majoring in communications with a double minor in business management and international relations. Thank you, LCCC, for changing my perspective and transforming me into the motivated, successful student that I am and will continue to be.
For various reasons, many college students get close but don't finish their college degree or certificate. LCCC is working to help those students complete.
The completion agenda is simply about getting more students to complete a higher education credential, a degree or a certificate, something that will help them be successful in their future.
This is a national concern as the United States is slipping in comparison to other countries on their completion rates.
That and the fact that more and more jobs require some education beyond high school necessitates some action. So we need to shift our focus from just getting people into college and actually getting them to complete a credential.
LCCC has a nice head start, graduating the most students in the college's history this past year, despite the decline in enrollment.
The Board of Trustees has committed to an increase each year of 5% in the number of completions that we have. And in our first year of tracking this, we increased by 12%. I mean, that's pretty amazing.
Strategies and new practices are being put into place to help with this agenda that ultimately better serve students, including clearly mapped programs, mandatory orientation, high-touch advising, and improved developmental coursework.
We're finally talking about student completion versus just student enrollment. We're really helping students to look at and focus on that end goal. And even before we are able to implement a lot of the things that we know will help, we're seeing those positive movements because we're focused on it.
I'm Lisa Murphy with this Laramie County Community College Spotlight. Community colleges serve as an important bridge for students, transitioning them into higher education and careers.
In an educational ecosystem, you need a high school, you need a community college, and you need a Research One university to really cover everything.
LCCC embraces that transition role with a strong partnership with the University of Wyoming, providing it with developmental coursework.
Without us, so many UW students would not be able to exceed in their degree programs. And this is a relationship that you don't necessarily see. You wouldn't think, oh, the community college is doing all of the developmental math at the university. This is hundreds of students each and every term.
Data shows that students who graduate from a Wyoming community college and transfer to UW complete with a comparable average.
So a student can start with us, seamlessly transfer, or it can be done in the reverse. We have many UW students studying here and then transferring our courses back because it helps them complete and succeed on their 4-year time frame.
Whether a student is working on concurrent enrollment in high school, which counts for college credit, or is planning to efficiently complete a baccalaureate degree in 4 years, LCCC wants to ensure things are aligned to ease the transition process for the students.
They do the hard work of learning, and we do the hard work of teaching and coordinating and making sure these credentials are nationally recognized. Our degrees are important. Our degrees are valuable.
I'm Lisa Murphy with this Laramie County Community College Spotlight.
Back at LCCC Gymnasium, where the Air Force Prep Huskies have a 47-31 lead over the Laramie County Community College Golden Eagles here at the half. And not necessarily the best first half we've seen the Golden Eagles perform here.
No, it definitely wasn't. There were 13 turnovers that they committed, and that definitely led to most of those points that the Air Force has scored. And the two highest scorers in the game for the Golden Eagles are Dominic Heinzel and Michael Ubindu, who both have 6.
Those points for Heinzel came early in that first half. He's able to create himself down low on the block and get himself in great position underneath the hoop. What do the Golden Eagles have to do to find more possessions for their big mans down low on the block?
Well, I think they need to get up there and get more offensive rebounds for sure. And it definitely looks like the underneath zone, strong zone that the Air Force is playing is really shutting down their game underneath and in the paint.
But you mentioned it. Those turnovers were huge. 13 in the first half for the Golden Eagles on a team that probably comes in averaging right around 17, 18 per game. So look for them to try to cut down on those turnovers because they shot the ball well. They shot 57.1% from the field. They did struggle from the three-point line, only going 1 of 5, and from the free throw line, 6 of 11, but shot well from the field, 57.1%.
Turnovers are definitely very uncharacteristic. Let's see if they can fix that coming into the second half.
On the floor for the Golden Eagles to start the second half, Peppers, Sherman Newsome, Heinzel, Obadu, and McNair, the same starters that started the game for the Golden Eagles. On the floor for the Huskies, it's going to be Shear, Scotty, Morris, Colt, and Tones. So they're same starters.
Sherman Newsom kicks it into Peppers. Peppers driving slowly, looking to set something up, kicks it back into Sherman Newsom. Newsom's driving, he kicks it back to Peppers. Peppers throws it up to McNair.
And a way to start the second half on a Peppers alley-oop to Josh McNair.
Absolutely beautiful play.
And that's a design play that the Golden Eagles had to steal coming into the second half.
I have seen them practice that. It definitely was.
Morris in the corner. To go reverse lay-in is good by Scotty.
Peppers is driving it. Looks to set something up again. Kicks it back out to Newsom.
Huskies back into that zone. And that zone is really high extended off of the three-point line, making it difficult for the Golden Eagles to find and break it. They're going to call the foul. They believe the basket's going to be no good. They're going to wave it off. They're going to call the foul on the floor. They're going to call that on number 3, Sid Tomes. That's going to be his third. And that's something we've talked about, Cody, about the foul trouble of maybe the Huskies getting into with a thin bench.
Be worried about foul trouble, and I'd also be worried about their players getting tired deeper into the second half because the Golden Eagles are a much deeper team than Air Force is.
Peppers comes off an Obendu's screen, looks to curl, hands it off to McNair. McNair tried to find a seam into the hoop. Does so off the glass, too strong. They're going to call an over-the-back foul on the Golden Eagles, number 32, Dominic Heinzel, and that's going to be Heinzel's third. Returning for the Huskies, number 5, Will Christmas, and for the Golden Eagles, number 20, Jerry Luckett. Luckett, the 6'6" sophomore from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Morris to Shear. Christmas. Colt puts it on the floor. Thought about the 3. Hands it off. Underneath. Shot up. No good. Board secured by Obendu. Obendu outlets it to Peppers. Peppers brings it across the half. Finds Sherman Newsom. Squares up for 3. Knocks it down.
Excellent shot by Sherman Newsom. And the defensive rebound leads to 3.
And that's huge for Sherman Newsom, who is 0 for 3 in the first half from the three-point line, was 0 for 8 in their matchup against the Cougars in Western Nebraska last Friday. So hopefully that instills some confidence in Sherman Newsom moving forward. Christmas finds a cutting Morris down the lane. Shot rejected by Obendu. Obendu outlets it to Peppers. Peppers puts the drive, lay in. Yes, good.
Excellent play by Peppers. That's more of what I expected from him during this game. Strong drive with a strong shot at the end of it, putting 2 on the board.
And excellent body control by Peppers as he attacks the hoop, able to withstand a little bit of the contact and hold himself and balance himself in midair.
Absolutely. Also made a couple of great moves in there.
Personal foul on Jerry Luckett on that last play. That's his first, team second. Christmas to get the offense set. Ball into the hands of Morris. Morris to Shear. Head fake. Culp. Christmas thought about it. Gets into the lane. Morris is going to attack the paint. And they're going to get a 3-second violation. I was wondering how long Scotty was going to camp inside the paint. And the official gets that 3-second violation call on the Huskies.
Absolutely. I was thinking the same thing.
Two things we've seen in a difference the second half from the Golden Eagles. One, the patience in the offensive end and the control of the ball, not forcing the issue and getting good looks at the basket.
I haven't seen any of the wild passes that we saw there at the second part of the first half of the game.
Peppers to Sherman Newsom. Once again, that trap is highly extended. Sherman Newsom finds McNair. McNair finds Luckett to Peppers for three. No good. Board secured by Scotty. Scotty, they outlet it to Shear. Shear's going to attack the paint. Laying up, no good. Kicked out to Christmas. Christmas off the dribble. Kicks it out to Morris. No one around. And a turnover on the Huskies.
And this time a mental mistake on the Huskies with that pass to no one.
Christmas probably should have taken that up to the basket, had a good look to the hoop, and decided to kick it out where no one was at.
That's what I thought he was going to do with it.
Peppers off to Sherman Newsom. Newsom.
Another kicking penalty against the Huskies.
Kickball violation. 20 on the shot clock. 16:32 on the game clock. Off to Luckett. Luckett to McNair. McNair dribbles back out. Underneath to Luckett. Luckett, lay in. No good.
Not
but
quite.
we'll go to the line and shoot two.
And once again, they've got that strong zone underneath. They had three guys underneath the basket there, and there was just almost no way Luckett was going to be able to get in there for a strong shot.
Great feed by McNair. It looked like McNair was in some trouble. Luckett cut to the hoop and that bounce pass, able to find him into the path to the basket.
Yeah, he had more than one man defending him solidly underneath the basket.
Luckett at the line for two. Knocks down the first. As we talked about, a strong performance in the last contest by Jerry Luckett in their matchup against Western Nebraska. Came off the bench and contributed by 13 points for the Golden Eagles.
Like we said earlier, he's a 65.1% free throw shooter this year, and he just put two more to up that percentage a little bit.
Luckett, who had 6 points in the first half, now has a total of 8 for the Golden Eagles. Golden Eagles cut the lead back to single digits. 49-40 lead for the Huskies of Air Force Prep. Shear lay-in, too strong. Board secured by McNair. McNair looks to push. He's going to go coast to coast. Basket's up, no good, and they're going to call offensive goaltending on the Golden Eagles.
He tried hard not to, but he did get his hands on that ball while it was still circling the rim a little bit.
And you mentioned it, that ball was still above the rim, circling above the cylinder of that. So they have to make the call, and the officials did the right decision there.
Absolutely.
Phones. Three left wide open in the corner. Culp knocks down the third 3-point opportunity in that corner. And that's the second time Culp it did it in the first half. Knocked it down once. Kind of just does a job where he kind of just slithers himself into that corner to get that three out.
And when he gets that chance, he is pretty accurate.
Peppers on the other end, laying no good. Tomes looks to answer, attacks the basket. Pass is too late in the path of Shear, and a turnover on the Huskies.
Another mental mistake with that errant pass, a little bit behind.
Yeah, you have a 2-on-1 break there. Almost have to convert or at least get a look at the basket.
Absolutely, you've got to get those.
Returning for the Golden Eagles, number 10, Alfonso Anderson. Anderson, the freshman, the 6'2 freshman from Newark, New Jersey.
He inbounds to Peppers. Peppers is looking to set something up, kicks it back out to Anderson. Anderson kicks it back out to Peppers. Peppers to McNair. McNair's in the corner. And Michael Obendu with the 2 points.
And Obendu able to kind of catch Swan Ford off guard there, going on the backdoor cut, and lays it in. Bones. On the other end for the Huskies. Lead 10 for the Huskies. Underneath, Swan Ford looks to be doubled. Pass is picked off by McNair.
McNair drives it.
Outlets it to Alfonso Anderson. Anderson
Fouled on the way to the hoop.
But what you like seeing from the Golden Eagles, picking up the tempo, looking to get in transition, and get these Huskies kind of moving on both ends of the floor with the low numbers.
And they're scoring points off the defensive rebounds, which was something they failed to do on both aspects in the first half. They weren't getting the defensive rebounds, and they weren't scoring off the rebounds they were getting.
Anderson at the line, shooting 2. Mentioned Anderson, the 6'2" freshman from Newark, New Jersey. It's good on the first. Nassim Hadrab returning for the Golden Eagles, a 6'9" sophomore out of Brenton, Canada.
And he's 65% from the free throw line on the year. Put 2 more on there for him.
Lead down to 8 for the Huskies, 52-44 as we're under 15 minutes here remaining in the second half. Ball in the hands of Culp. Culp to Morris. Back to Christmas. Into the hands of Wells. Wells' threes short. Hadrab with the board. Outlets it to Peppers. Peppers looks to pick up that tempo. Goes coast to coast. Off the glass and lays it in. And Cody, what about that breakaway speed?
That's what Peppers does when he gets on fire. He can drive it down the lane that way, and he can pretty much get past anybody on the court and get up to that hoop. And with the foul, he might have a chance to put up 3 on that.
Kind of threw it into 4th gear there. And
absolutely.
Peppers completes the 3-point play. Lead cut to 5 by the Huskies. And Huskies head coach Bob Shavera takes a timeout. So a timeout, Huskies.
Looks like the Golden Eagles made some excellent adjustments during halftime.
Full timeout. We will be back after the break. Live back at LCCC Gymnasium, where the Huskies have a 52-47 lead on the Golden Eagles, but the Golden Eagles have kind of gone on a run, a 7-0 or 6-0 run, to kind of trim the lead back to 5. Cody, what have they done successful over these last couple minutes?
They've been getting defensive rebounds. They've been putting the points up off the defensive rebounds. And Gavin Peppers has really started to show up again in this second half, playing like he does so often in so many games this year.
They've gotten the Huskies to move and transition on both ends and catching them off guard a couple times defensively and getting some good looks out on the break.
I think the speed and the depth of the Golden Eagles is definitely starting to help in this second half.
And they've kind of gotten a second burst here to have the Golden Eagles trying to pick up the tempo defensively. And with the guys on the floor currently, that's what they're looking to do. Sheer reverse lay-in is good. And so an answer by the Huskies. We push back to 7.
Peppers drives, looking to set something up at the top. Kicks it out to Anderson. Back to Peppers.
Tie
it up, a jump ball, and it will go to the Huskies.
Possession's going to the Huskies, yep. Peppers kind of ran himself into trouble there, ran into the double team of Shear and Christmas. Ball in the hands of Morris. Morris back out to Christmas. Christmas, top of the circle, into the hands of Culp. Culp, one dribble, then back to Christmas. Christmas. Underneath to Morris. Back in the hands of Christmas. Christmas looks to attack the paint, and they're going to grab Peppers with the hand check. It's going to be Peppers' third personal, team's third.
Number 30 for the Golden Eagles, Ayodele checks in and Peppers checks out.
Ayodele, the 6'4" freshman from London. Culp set to inbound, finds Morris. Morris comes off the screen into the hands of Christmas. Christmas back to Morris, off to Culp. Culp off to Shear. Cut. Basket's up.
And
A drop, gets a hand on it. Another hand on it. Culp.
Shot clock to 5.
Three's up, no good. Morris, or McNair, secures the board. Brings it across the half. Ayodele to Anderson. Anderson attacks the basket. Pull-up jumper, left short. Hadrab with the board. Hadrab, fed fake. Turnaround shot, left to the right, no good. Board secured by Christmas. Christmas then is going to go to the floor. Hands it off to Scotty. Almost knocked away. And that's all created by Alfonso Anderson.
Excellent defensive effort, knocks the ball loose, and then the Huskies end up actually being the last ones to touch it. So the Golden Eagles will have possession.
And that's just pure effort.
Absolutely.
Defensively from the Golden Eagles. And that's what you get out of Alfonso Anderson. Someone who's going to be right in your face defensively.
He plays very hard, and he does not give up.
Looking to create the turnovers. Ayodele to Luckett. Luckett dribbles back out. Cross court pass over to Anderson. Anderson thought about attacking the paint. Bounce pass to McNair. McNair for 3. Left short. Board secured by Scotty. Scotty outlets it to Culp. Culp finds Christmas. Christmas finds a cutting Shear. Shear stepped on the baseline and a turnover on the Huskies. Returning for the Golden Eagles, number 24, Isaiah Sherman Newsom, the 6'3" sophomore from Anchorage, Alaska, and number 11, Gavin Peppers, the 6'2" sophomore from Brookville, Maryland. Heinzel also on the floor for the Golden Eagles. Dominic Heinzel, the 6'7" freshman from Uzov, Czech Republic, who had a strong, probably first 4 minutes in that first half. Wouldn't you agree, Cody?
Absolutely, he did, but it seems like in the second half, or the second part of the first half, he was pretty much shut down when they had 2 or 3 guys underneath the basket a lot of the time.
Peppers looks to drive, pulls it back out of pressure. Sherman Newsom for 3, knocks it down.
Nothing but net by Sherman Newsom.
And we talked about hopefully he gained some confidence after that 3 he knocked down earlier, and he's knocked down second 3-pointer of the game. Lead cut back to 4. Morris, 3, no good. Sherman Newsom with the board. Outlets it to Peppers. Peppers looks to attack. Comes off of a Luckett screen. Gonna attack the basket. And they're gonna get a charging foul on Peppers. And that's gonna be huge because that's his 4th personal, team's 4th. So Peppers will probably be on the bench for probably at least the next 5, maybe 4 minutes for the Golden Eagles.
That's unfortunate because he was providing quite the spark on the offensive side of the ball.
And not necessarily just on the point side, but does so a bit just off creating off the dribble and finding looks for his teammates.
Absolutely.
Shot up, no good. Board secured by Anderson. Anderson looks to bring it across the half. Picks up his dribble, finds McNair to Heinzel. Heinzel shot, no good. Secures his own board. Ball's knocked loose. Picked up by Wells. Wells underneath to Scotty. Scotty shots up, no good.
Rejected by Heinzel.
And a layup by Luckett.
Awesome play by Luckett. Very aggressive play. Did not give up on it and put down the 2 at the end. And the lead is cut to 2, 54 Huskies, 52 Golden Eagles.
And the Golden Eagle crowd starting to get right back into it.
Very strong showing for the crowd tonight.
And a great defensive effort right there by Ayodele. Forces Christmas into the turnover.
Sherman Newsom's got to inbound. Into Ayodele. Back to Sherman Newsom. And back to Ayodele, looking to create something at the side. Anderson takes a shot for the three, and he just misses it.
Too strong. Board secured by Wells. Wells coming down the other end, attacks the hoop, finds Morris. Morris, one dribble, and they're going to call the hand check on Luckett. And I believe that's going to be Luckett's third personal, and I think it should be his second. Indeed, it is just his second personal. Team's fifth. Returning for the Huskies will be number 35, Ryan Swan Ford, the 6'7" forward from Denver, Colorado. Thome set to inbound on the baseline. Wells to Morris. Morris hands it off to Thomes. Back to Morris. Thomes calls for the screen. They find Morris. Morris steps into a three. No good. Board secured by Sherman Newsom. Outlets it to Ayodele. Ayodele. Huskies once again showing the trap up high. They're going to call a tie-up. Possession should stay with Laramie County.
And it does.
Golden Eagles catch like a fortunate break there as the pass almost kind of got out of hand. Luckett able to get a hand on it and still kind of create the tie-up.
Another one of those minor mental passing mistakes almost cost them another turnover.
And I think what they're going to talk about is whether the shot clock should be reset. And indeed it is. The shot clock will be set to 20 seconds. So shot clock set to 20. Game clock will be reset back to 9:16. Huskies 54, Golden Eagles 52, 9:16 left on the game clock. Sherman Newsom set to inbound from the side. Brian Heinzel. Ayodele. Sherman Newsom. Back to Ayodele. Ayodele. Bounce pass to Sherman Newsom. A deep three. Knocks it down.
That was an amazing shot from about 3 feet past the three-point line right there.
Okay, the Golden Eagles have their first lead since early on in this first half. Who trailed at one point by 16 points, have kind of chipped away at the lead little by little and have done so on this defensive end. Wouldn't you agree, Cody?
Absolutely. The defensive rebounds once again and the steals and just the pure aggressiveness on the D side. Once again, Anderson with the steal and Sherman Newsom recovers the loose ball.
Anderson knocked that out loose. Well, and they're going to reset the shot clock. Discussion. I believe the shot clock started a little late.
It sounded like 2 seconds maybe.
Is that what are they going to try to reset it to 26?
I believe so. That's what the ref was saying.
26 it is on the shot clock.
55-54. Golden Eagles up by 1.
And how about Sherman Newsom with 3 threes in this ball game? 2 of those in the second half, but that last one.
Wow. Almost 4 feet from the 3-point line. That was a pretty amazing shot. And he had a defender right in his face. And he's also come on strong with the defensive rebounds in the second half. A little confusion between the refs and the coaches on the floor.
And I think the discussion is on the shot clock about it. I don't think it's in control of the scores table. I think it just kind of triggers off just a bit late. I believe that's the discussion. Just to keep an eye on the shot clock. Nonetheless, Golden Eagles with a 1-point lead, 8:27 remaining.
Sherman Newsom to inbound. Inbounds to Luckett. Luckett back to Sherman Newsom. Newsom to Ayodele.
Bounce pass to
Kicks
Luckett.
back to Luckett. Luckett shoots. Luckett scores.
The Golden Eagles finding a little bit of rhythm and now attacking near the free throwing line, breaking down that high kind of three-quarters trap from the Huskies.
I definitely think they're starting to wear this defense down a little bit.
Morris hands it off to Thomes. Thomes Being pressured by Aldele. Kicks out to Morris. Morris for three. Knocks it down. And we're tied back up 57-all. So we're under 8 minutes remaining.
And Anderson has the ball, looking to create something. He kicks it to Ayadeli. Ayadeli, Sherman Newsom with another three. And he misses it.
But look at Anderson.
With the offensive rebound. And Anderson gets the loose ball.
Pure hustle there by Alonzo Anderson.
Absolutely. Once again, another loose ball, this time recovered by Luckett. Oh, no. On the turnover, Air Force has the ball.
Thomes looks to attack. He's going to stop, pull up for the jumper. Too strong. Luckett with the board. Outlets to Anderson. Anderson, 1 versus 3. What's he going to do? He's going to attack the basket.
Oh, with the amazing move. 2 points. And Anderson is fired up after that one, and he should be.
Kind of had that hesitation Euro step, able to get the defender to buy.
Breaking ankles out there. Breaking ankles.
To the basket, gets the lay-in to fall for him off the glass, and now has an opportunity for a 3-point play and give the Golden Eagles a 3-point lead.
If he puts it down, no problem. Excellent job by Anderson in the second half. Anderson and Sherman Newsom have come on very strong, along with Luckett.
Yes, they have given that spark, and that's the reason why the Golden Eagles have a 3-point lead. We'll go ahead and step away and come back here after the break. Back at LCCC Gymnasium, where the Golden Eagles have a 3-point lead, 60-57. Last lead created by Alfonso Anderson, who drove to the basket and completed the 3-point play. Cody, what a drive though by Anderson.
What a drive and what a second half by Anderson. And he has really turned it on in this second half. He's playing hard on defense. He's putting points on the board. He's doing everything. He's creating scores. He's getting assists to the other players. He's really come on.
Huskies look to see if they could answer. And more communication amongst the shot clock. Not exactly sure why the whistle was blown, because there's no readjustment or anything, but we're live back on the floor. On the hands of Morris, back to Wells. Wells. And they're going to get Ayodele with the hold. His first, team's fifth, or actually, excuse me, team's sixth. Morris set to inbound. Finds Swan Ford. Back in the hands of Morris. Over to Christmas. Christmas to Culp. Culp back to the top of the circle into the hands of Wells. Christmas. Morris. Wells get past to Morris. Morris answers with back-to-back threes for the Huskies.
He's doing very well from the 3-point line right now. And Ayodele brings it down, looking to create something. So out to Luckett. Luckett kicks it back.
And just when you think the Golden Eagles are going to kind of get on a little run and push it to a 5, maybe 6-point lead, the Huskies come back and answer with a 3-pointer of their own.
They are absolutely not giving up. And Sherman Newsom, once again with the deep shot. 3 to 4 feet beyond the 3-point line. Once again, that was another amazing shot by Sherman Newsom.
And probably in about the same location as the one earlier that he took.
Pretty sure it was the exact same spot.
And we talked about a streaky shooter in the game of basketball. All it takes is one shot to break that slump and kind of get in a little bit of a rhythm. Sherman Newsom has done so.
He has got hot, and once again, more clock issues. I have never seen this before with any referees at a game here. Maybe the shot clock is off.
I think the discussion there was the main clock. Trying to keep an eye on that. So we have some malfunctions.
It seems
amongst
like
the
it.
clock, so we'll try to do our best to keep everyone up to date. Foams puts the ball on the floor. Off to Culp. Culp off the dribble. Finds Christmas. Foams left wide open on the right-hand side. Shots up, no good. Ball knocked around into the hands. Once again, knocked loose. Luckett finally secures the board.
Hard-fought rebound there.
Ayodele is looking to run. Bounce pass to Anderson. And they're going to call a blocking foul on Thomes. That's going to be Thomes' fourth, team sixth. And the Golden Eagles will have the ball down low on the baseline. Oh, excuse me, that's his fifth. So Thomes will be done for the evening. And looks to be shaking up for the Huskies is Morris, Caleb Morris.
Appears to be an ankle injury. He's hopping off the court. Hopefully he's okay.
Looked like he may have rolled it on that last stoppage down there. Not sure how he had rolled it. The left ankle looks to be headed towards the locker room or the athletic training room. We'll kind of try to keep you up to date on that.
That's unfortunate for the Huskies with only 5 minutes, 15 seconds left and being such a close game. They definitely need him.
And also with Thomes being done for the evening, with picking up his fifth personal, you've only got leaves you to one sub. It doesn't look like Morris is going to be able to make it back for this game, but we'll see what we can do. We'll see what happens with the Huskies. We'll see how they adjust. They may look to slow the tempo down, knowing they're low with numbers, and kind of see what they do on the offensive end.
And I would look for the Golden Eagles to try to speed it up even more than they already have, with being the Huskies being man down and 2 men down technically, with a shallow bench to begin with.
Would agree with you. Look to see them, like you said, maybe try to pressure a little bit defensively and then get out and run in the offensive end. 5:15 remaining. Golden Eagles up 360 on the floor for the Huskies. Will Christmas, Nick Wells, Keegan Culp, Garrett Shear, and Lavelle Scotty. And there was also a technical foul issued. And that had to have been, I believe, on Sid Thomes, and that would have led to that fifth personal. So that's the reason why Thomes is out. He picked up his fourth personal, then was teed up. That gives him his fifth. So Peppers at the line for the two technicals, knocks him down.
2 for 2 on the free throws. Excellent job by Peppers.
And that technical is huge because now possession goes back to the Golden Eagles. And it looks like Peppers is going to set to inbound on the baseline. The lead is 5. Peppers. Oh, that's such a Sherman Newsom. I wouldn't be surprised if Sherman Newsom shoots it from the mascot logo.
I was about to say the same thing.
Peppers. To Anderson. Sherman Newsom. Falls short, but Peppers with the board.
Strong offensive rebound by
for the
Peppers.
Golden Eagles, though.
Absolutely.
Peppers. Sherman Newsom. Peppers. Back to Sherman Newsom. That fake to Anderson. Looking to hesitate off the drive. Shot short. Last off the hands of Anderson. Possession heading towards the Huskies. Culp. Christmas. Shear. Culp spots himself up for 3. Too strong. Ball's loose.
Peppers
up.
comes up with a loose ball, and he's driving, and he slows it down.
Heads up play there by Peppers. Knew he didn't have a
Absolutely.
clear path to the basket.
And with after the shot, the Huskies comes up with it after Luckett takes a shot. Unfortunately, misses it, but
Heinzel going to pick up the personal. That's a tough one for me. I thought Heinzel looked to be set, was above that little round circle underneath on the block. To me, his hands were straight up. His body was in place. His feet were set.
that's what it looked like to me. But
Nonetheless,
the refs
Shear
are
at
the refs.
line. Short on the first. That's huge for the Golden Eagles, though, because Heinzel now has 4. And he's been a big physical presence down low on the block. Shear, 1 of 2 from the foul line, cuts the lead to 4. The Huskies kind of showing that three-quarters trap. Eagles break it. Luckett attacks the basket and flushes it down.
Luckett hits it down hard with the dunk, and that takes the lead up to 6. And that was looked like another blocking call there against Heinzel.
That's going to be the end of Heinzel's night as well, as it's going to be his 5th.
And Michael Obendu will check in for Heinzel. 6'7", 6'8", excuse me, from Abuja, Nigeria.
Christmas knocks down the first. Christmas, the 6'5" guard out of San Diego, California. No good on the second. Obendu secures the board, finds Peppers. Oh, nearly a turnover there by the Golden Eagles. Just look to get it across the half court. And they're gonna force them into a turnover. That kind of three-quarters trap hurt the Golden Eagles there and caused the 10-second backcourt violation. So great pressure there by the Huskies, but you've got to find one of the Golden Eagles has to be aware of that. Maybe call a timeout or try to find a way to get that ball across the half.
Hopefully kick it down deep. Call them in on the other side of the court. There definitely was somebody open at the other end.
And a throw down on the other end by Lavelle Scotty.
The lead is cut down to 3.
Sherman-Newsom over to Peppers. Peppers breaks the trap, goes to the basket, and lay-in is good. We've got a timeout on the floor by the Golden Eagles. 30-second timeout. We'll be back after the break. Back here in Cheyenne, Wyoming, live at LCCC Gymnasium, where the Golden Eagles have a 69-64 lead with 3:04 remaining over the Air Force Prep Huskies. Huskies with the possession on the floor for the Huskies. Colt, Christmas, Shear, Wells, and Scotty on the floor for the Golden Eagles. Obendu, Anderson, Luckett, Sherman-Newsom, and Peppers.
It looks like they had a little water on the court there, but that has been taken care of, and now Air Force has kicked it back in and are driving.
in another clock malfunction where that clock has kind of been having some issues. Head coach Bob Cavara not too thrilled about what's kind of taking place here, and probably rightfully so has something to argue there. Christmas kicks out to Culp. Culp to Shear. Shear's going to attack the basket. Lay in. Falls short. Obendu finds Sherman Newsom. Sherman Newsom to Peppers. Look for the Golden Eagles to maybe run a little bit of clock down here and look to find a good shot down low on the block.
Does look like that's what they're doing. As Gavin Peppers kicked it out to Anderson. Now Anderson is taking his time to get something set up. He kicks it out to Sherman Newsom. Newsom kicks it back to Peppers.
And the Huskies have kind of stepped out of that little zone. Peppers attacks. Underneath to Luckett, laying no good. Obendu's tipping is no good. Christmas secures the board. He brings it across the half. Finds Shear, who attacks the hoop. His dunk is up and no good. 4-on-1 break.
The behind the back pass to Anderson and the 2-pointer.
Great vision right there, but an awesome job by Anderson to get out and run the floor with Peppers.
And that was a great pass. It's not easy to make a pass like that, and he made it look very easy.
Going full speed nonetheless.
And the Huskies come right back with 2 and the foul. He will go to the line.
Obendu charged with the foul. That's going to be his second, team's 9th.
And that will be Nick Wells at the line.
Completes the 3-point play. Timeout by the Huskies. 30-second timeout. We'll go ahead and just stay live here, Cody. With a minute 43, 4-point lead for the Golden Eagles. You know, something I think they're going to look to do. One, you got to get the ball inbounded.
You definitely can't be caught backcourt again.
Secondly, for the Golden Eagles, you've got to be aware of probably that three-quarters trap that's kind of been somewhat successful for the Huskies.
Yeah, they've been pressing them a lot, and that seems to be very disruptive for the Eagles.
Yep, they have 10 seconds to get that ball across the half. They've done so successfully on beating that little three-quarters press is when they found someone near the center of the court to come in and kind of catch the ball, then turn and go. And as soon as they do that, it'll be interesting to see, do they slow the play down, try to run some clock off, or do they attack the basket with numbers?
I would look to see them try to slow it down a little bit and make the plays, but make them only when they believe they have a solid play and not try to force anything.
I would completely agree with you. Try to get some of this clock ran down and do a nice job. But it'll be key. It'll be interesting to see how the Huskies come out. I imagine they're going to come into that three-quarters trap press that they've been running throughout the game. So on the floor, it looks to be for the Huskies. It will be Will Christmas, Lavelle Scotty, Garrett Shear, Nick Wells, and Keegan Culp. And for the Golden Eagles, it'll be Sherman Newsom, Obendu, Peppers, Luckett, and Anderson.
And the Eagles coaching staff was just given a delay of game warning for not breaking their timeout as fast as they were supposed to.
Not exactly sure why that was issued. Normally the officials will walk over and kind of say, hey, let's get rolling. Come on, let's get this game going. I didn't quite see an official walk over and just kind of, hey, say, let's break this huddle, let's get going.
They didn't do that until after they had already issued the warning. So I'm with you. I'm not really sure.
But there's probably a reason why you and I are up here on the booth commentating and not making those difficult calls on the floor.
There definitely is.
Sherman Newsom inbounds to Peppers. Huskies are going to look to kind of trap. Peppers breaks the trap.
And the foul.
They're going to call the foul. Personal foul will be on Garrett Shear. That's going to be his third.
Peppers does well from the line, so that is not going to be good for the Huskies. They do not want to send him to the line too many times because he will have a very good chance to increase that lead.
Peppers with the 1-and-1 opportunity. Knocks down the first.
Puts down that first one and puts that lead back up to 4.
You and I were looking over the stat sheet, the box score from last game against the Cougars, Western Nebraska. But Peppers, 14 of 14. That's incredible.
It is incredible, and he's 82.2% shooting this year. So, and once again, he puts the second one down, and then that 5-point lead.
And that's who you want the ball to be in the hands of down the stretch. Christmas down the other end.
And the Golden Eagles almost looked like they let him get through there to avoid the foul.
We got a timeout on the Huskies, 30-second timeout. We'll go ahead and take a break. Live back here in Cheyenne, Wyoming at LCCC Gymnasium. 4-point Golden Eagle lead. 1:30 remaining. Sherman Newsom set to inbound on the baseline. Huskies showing the full court press. Ball in the hands of Peppers. Peppers looks to beat the trap. They're going to call a foul.
Looks like it's going to be on number 31, Keegan Culp.
First personal, 9 on the Huskies.
And Sherman Newsom goes to the line.
Isaiah Sherman Newsom shooting right here.
Sherman Newsom, the 6'3" sophomore from Anchorage, Alaska. No good. Ball in the hands of Wells. Wells is going to look to push. Gets to the floor, off the glass and good. And now the lead's cut down to 2.
Wells.
Peppers off to Sherman Newsom.
Be careful.
Gotta get it across. He's gonna go coast to coast.
Gavin Peppers drives hard and puts 2 up for the layup. LCCC with another timeout.
Golden Eagles timeout. I'm not sure if he called a full or a 30. We'll wait for the official signal. And it's a full timeout. So we'll go ahead and step away and be back after the break. Back at LCCC Gymnasium, where it's a tight one, 75-71 lead for the Golden Eagles as we're under a minute remaining. And Cody, what a thriller this has been. You know, the first half was a bit sloppy on the Golden Eagles, but they've bounced back the second half, doing so on the defensive end.
It has been, and since they took the lead, they have not given it back. It's been a small lead, but they keep adding to it enough to keep that lead.
You know, it was the first half where Air Force Prep had 47 points in that first half. And the Golden Eagles have done a nice job defensively here in the second half.
So they have only allowing 24 points in the second half.
Christmas looks to drive, laying off the glass is no good. Shears fouled on his way up to the basket on the putback. And they're going to call Luckett with the personal. That's going to be his third.
See if the Huskies can cut this 4-point lead down to 2 here.
Shear, who had 4 points in the last matchup between these two.
And he sinks the first shot. And he sinks both shots, and that lead is cut down to 2 points once again.
And a timeout by the Huskies, 30-second timeout. We'll go ahead and step away. Back at LCCC Gymnasium in Cody. Another tight one. We talked about it. It seems just as if the Golden Eagles are starting to separate. The Huskies come right back and answer right back.
Yeah, it's extremely close. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Gavin Peppers maybe take it to the hole this time.
Look for the ball to be in Pepper's hands. 20 on the shot clock, 36 on the game clock.
And it looks like the Eagles are trying to burn some time.
That's a difficult call because that's going to be Peppers' fifth. That's a tough one. Our angle is very difficult to see. I couldn't quite tell if he pushed off. But to me, it looked like he kind of got tripped up a little bit.
That's what it looked like to me. I'm not really sure what that call was, but once again,
not a whole lot of argument coming from the sidelines. So I couldn't quite tell if it was the push off, but nonetheless, possession into the hands of the Huskies as they either look to tie or take the lead.
Oh, they lose the ball. And it looks like it's going to be the Golden Eagles' ball at the other end of the court after the wild pass.
Miscommunication right there by the Huskies.
That could be a very unfortunate play for the Huskies.
And a timeout by Coach Cavara for the Huskies. Full timeout. $75-73 is the score here at LCCC Gymnasium. Golden Eagles of Laramie County Community College have the lead over the Air Force Prep Huskies. Just a crucial turnover on the Huskies' end, and that last possession gives the ball back to the Golden Eagles with 17.4 seconds remaining.
And I would look for them to inbound it and try to just hold on and maybe draw the foul. And that's exactly what just happened.
They're going to foul Alfonso Anderson. And he'll go to the line, shoot two. Anderson on the year, a 65% free throw shooter.
The Huskies really can't afford for him to make both of these.
No good on the first.
And he does hit the second one. It just barely, it looked like it might pop out of there, but it went in.
Rattled in. 10 seconds remaining. Ball in the hands of Christmas. Fine Colt back to Christmas. Christmas being defended by Ayodele. Oh, and they're going to get a traveling violation on Christmas.
Oh.
Christmas kind of caught in midair. Wanted to take the shot. Also wanted to get the ball passed off to Shear. But great defensive pressure right there by Ayodele.
Definitely. The pressure put it on, and it definitely caused them to commit that travel. And that's unfortunate because with 3.3 seconds left, it's very unlikely that the Huskies will get the ball back again.
And as we look forward for the Golden Eagles, they've got a couple matches coming up. They're going to step away from non-conference play again on Saturday. They're going to travel to Goodland, Kansas. Well, they'll play Northwest Kansas Technical College. They'll come back and host Trinidad State Junior College on February 3rd, followed by a home game on February 6th at 3 p.m. against Otero Junior College. And then they'll finish up the home slate February 17th against Lamar Community College at 7 p.m. And for the Golden Eagles, those matchups are huge because those are all Region 9 matchups. as they head into the postseason play. It's going to be difficult to catch. It's going to be difficult to catch Otero Junior College, who's currently sitting at the top of Region 9 South sub-region with their 8-0 record in the conference. But for the Golden Eagles, currently sitting in second, 6-4. How big are home matches when you have these teams coming into your place?
They're huge. The Golden Eagles have a great home record. But when they're 2 behind Otero, they really need to win all the rest of the home matches no matter what. They can't afford to lose anymore.
And it's going to be very, very difficult to catch the Rattlers of Otero. So you almost have your eyes set on trying to secure that second seed, which isn't a bad seed.
No, not at all.
The difference with is winning the South sub-region gives you the home tournament. You get to host the tournament. So that would have been a benefit. But going in as the second seed isn't bad, matching up with an Otero team on the other side of the bracket. Anderson gets fouled. Will go to the line, shooting 2 as he looks to put this game away. Knocks down the first of the second.
And with that lead up to 4 and 2.7 seconds left, the likelihood of the Huskies.
As we look back to the record, the standings, this race between second and almost seventh is so tight. You have teams with 4 victories, 4-4. You have Northeastern Junior College, who's currently sitting in seventh. They're 4-5. So one loss kind of can drop you 2 or 3 positions. A very tight group amongst the second and 7 seeds. And that'll be the Eagles will have a 78-73 victory over the Air Force Prep Huskies. We'll stay here. Cody, incredible second half. Almost 2 different stories, 2 different sides that we saw from the Golden Eagles. That first half, very sloppy, 13 turnovers. The second half, able to take care of that basketball and then almost amped up the pressure defensively.
Definitely. Like I said before the half, that they need to go in and make some adjustments and come out aggressive and playing smart basketball, and they did that. Gavin Peppers came out. He had a very strong second half. So did Anderson and Sherman Newsom and Luckett. All 4 had a great second half, and it amounted to a win, a 16-point comeback, a 5-point win.
And with you mentioned Sherman Newsom. We talked about earlier, he was going through a slump, went 0 of 8 from the 3-point line against Western Nebraska. Missed his first 2 threes in this game, but then after that kind of just caught on fire. That 1 3-pointer he had late in the first half kind of sparked him and got him on a run in the second half.
And then he hit 3 in a row, 2 of which were from approximately 4 feet past the 3-point line. It was pretty amazing shooting by him in the second half. And his defensive rebounds were very strong as well.
And Peppers, he talked about just his incredible pace that he does getting into the basket, creating space and having good looks. Just an excellent point guard for the Golden Eagles. Had an incredible performance where he had 34 points against Western Nebraska. Comes back and is a major contributor for the Golden Eagles here this season.
He's very fast, very hard to defend when he gets rolling like that. Like I said, he's very fast, and there's not too many people out there, and there's not too many guys out there that can defend him when he's moving like that.
Golden Eagles will be back in action this Saturday as they hit the road. They will go to Goodland, Kansas, and square off with Northwest Kansas Technical College. It will be back at home February 3rd as they host Trinidad State Junior College at 7 p.m. That game will be televised on Charter Channel 191, and it will also be broadcasted on the Wingspan website of Wingspan at lccc.edu.com. We'll go ahead and take a break, and then we'll be back with some final statistics. Also be joined by head coach of the Golden Eagles, Jason Ficca.
Hi, I'm Katie Wells, and this is my LCCC story. I was born in Maryville, Missouri. I was a pretty cute baby, and then I went to Minnesota for just a little bit. Then I moved to South Dakota for 8 years. Oh, and that's a fish hatchery. You know, the fish needs some bubbles. And finally ended up in Cheyenne, Wyoming. Growing up, I always dreamed about becoming a princess, but after some doctor's appointments, that seemed like a fun career too. Growing up with 2 brothers, I learned I didn't want to be a princess anymore and got into sports. I played all of the sports but wasn't good at them all. I was really just good at soccer. I liked soccer so much I played for Cheyenne Central High School. Go Indians and Pluck the Duck. Is that how you draw braids? I did well in school and had lots of good friends. See, we're even holding hands. I got involved doing yearbook and DECA, and I got to go to Disney World, but was eager to move on to do something bigger and different. So I took extra classes and graduated early, but I still didn't know what I wanted to do for a career, so I applied to go to Ecuador through the Rotary Youth Exchange and got to take my first trip out of the country. Is that a plane or is that a bumblebee? And when did Ecuador become a square? While I was there on a Skype call home, my mom got me thinking about college applications. I looked into UW, CU, CSU, and a few others that were kind of expensive. My mom didn't crush those dreams, but essentially said, "How poor do you want to be?" Thanks, Mom. My dad made the grand suggestion that I look at LCCC. He had taken classes there and said it would be a good place to figure out what I wanted to do. Plus, they had great scholarships and would bring me back home, which I didn't really like, to be honest. But come home I did, and I became a golden eagle at LCCC. This is the only way I know how to draw birds. It's an eagle, I promise. I was worried there wouldn't be much else to do, and I would be bored a lot, but I was happy to discover lots of opportunities to get involved. I joined the campus activities board and made lots of friends and helped plan some fun events. Balloons. From there, I got involved in student government, which was great because I was an executive and learned a lot of life skills and became a voice for the students. And I really got connected with LCCC staff members, which landed me a job in the Admissions and Welcome Center as an orientation leader, helping other students become a Golden Eagle. That's still a Golden Eagle. During all this, I of course was also going to classes to get my Associate of Arts in General Studies, which I was so happy to complete and graduate in 2014. Yay! Yay! With all these experiences, I finally learned what I wanted to study at my next stop at the University of Wyoming, majoring in communications with a double minor in business management and international relations. Thank you, LCCC, for changing my perspective and transforming me into the motivated, successful student that I am and will continue to be.
Back at LCCC Gymnasium, where the Golden Eagles just secured a 78-73 victory over the Huskies of Air Force Prep, joined by head coach Jason Ficca. Coach, congratulations on the victory.
Thanks, Jose. Appreciate it.
Coach, talk about that second half. You went into the first half, looked frustrated. What changes did you guys make to come out in the second half?
Didn't look frustrated. We all were. It was difficult mentally in this game. In the middle of a heated conference race, we step out of the conference and play Air Force Prep, who's always very mentally tough and sharp. And, we had a natural letdown. And then, I'm not afraid to say it, we got 3 refs tonight that don't work a lot of games this time of the year. They were trying to get them some work. And, they were calling it like it was being called in November. And our guys are not used to those calls being made at this point. It's gotten much rougher at this time of the year, and not that those guys didn't do a good job, but they called games like they're kind of used to calling them, and it got to us mentally, all of us, and we regrouped and challenged our guys pretty hard at halftime, and they responded with giving up 26 points in the second half. That was the difference. They score 47 in the first half and do whatever they want and shoot 64% and all that business. We can all look at the stats, and second half we give up 26. So
You gave up 26, and you also took care of the basketball. In that first half, you guys committed 13 turnovers, came back and only committed 7 in the second half.
Yeah, we got a little burr under our saddle, and I mentioned 3 stats to the guys at halftime that they shot 64% from the floor, and they shot 75% from the 3, and we had 13 turnovers. Those are the 3 things that I mentioned to our guys, and we're a team that averages about 14 turnovers a game, so we were on our average in the second half, and I think I also mentioned that we only had 2 or 3 offensive rebounds in the first half, and we hit the glass much better in the second half, and just played the last 20 like we should play all game.
It got good contribution of scoring, 4 guys in double figures. You had Gavin, who leads the way with 18, had a great performance Friday against Western Nebraska. How much does he mean to this ball club?
Well, it means our leading scorer, he's our point guard. I mean, there's a lot of things. I mean, sometimes your point guard is not your leading scorer. In this case, it is. So we count him for scoring. We count on him for defense. So, he's the point man of our defense. A lot of the time he's guarding the other team's point guard. And so he's very, very vital to our team. But, he got in some foul trouble tonight, and other guys stepped up. Ola Iodele played big minutes. He doesn't have a ton of stats, but he has 4 assists, only 1 turnover, and forced a couple turnovers late in the game that were huge because he can really defend. Alfonso Anderson, though, was frustrated after playing only about 4 minutes last Saturday at Western Nebraska, and tonight we call his number for at least 25 minutes, and he responds with 10 points and a steal, and knocks down free throws. So we've got a team with some depth, and it certainly helped us tonight. They were pretty shorthanded and got in a little foul trouble themselves, and our depth really helped.
Looking forward, you have a game this Saturday, stepping once again out of Region 9 South Sub-Region play. You travel to Goodland, Kansas, take on a quality Northwest Kansas Technical College team. What are you looking to get out of that game on Saturday?
Looking to get there and back in a timely, safe manner and nobody get hurt. And we did the exact same thing last year in our schedule. When we had this bye week, we had Air Force Prep in the middle of the week at home and won that game. And then we went to Northwest Tech, and, we competed, but we didn't really, compete to win down there. And if you go to Northwest Tech and you're not competing to win, you're going to get beat. I think we're going to give them, I think, all the attention that we would give a conference opponent. Now, whether or not that will creep into our guys' back of their heads that they're not playing a conference game, I'm not sure. We'll do everything we can to try to dispel that myth, like this one doesn't matter, guys. But ultimately, we want to get down and back safely and, play hard and give ourselves a chance to win at the end. And if we don't, I just want to play the way we need to play. I'm not really caught up winning and losing anymore with this team. Otero's in such a situation, they would have to have a massive collapse for us to catch them. But we just need to be playing right, whether we win or lose. And last Saturday at Western Nebraska, I wasn't upset. We lost. I was disappointed, but we played the way we need to play games. They made a couple threes they don't normally make, and we missed some that we normally make. Isaiah Sherman Newsom was our best 3-point shooter. He's 0 for 8 last Saturday. Tonight he's 4 for 9. He makes one of 8 last week. We probably win. So other than that, we did the things we need to do to win games. And for 20 minutes tonight, we did the things we need to do to win games. If we go to Northwest Tech and play and do the things we need to do to win games, I won't be concerned with the outcome.
That's head coach Jason Ficka. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
Once again, Golden Eagles with the victory this evening, 78-73. Golden Eagles are back in action on the road this Saturday in Goodland, Kansas, as they travel to Northwest Kansas Technical College, and then we'll be back at home Wednesday, February 3rd, as they get back into South Sub-Region play, host Trinidad State Junior College at 7 p.m.
For LCCC's Wingspan Student Media on Channel 191, this is Cody Fox and Jose Arenas signing off.
Tonight's broadcast was directed by Amber Munjar. Thank you to members of our crew, Daniel Lucero, Jacob Hamill, Rafael Munoz Vega, and Emily Grace Peel. Technical support was provided by Ted Wickham, Austin Matthews, Josh Thine, Jay O'Brien, and Jacob Sherlock. For LCCC's Wingspan Student Media on Channel 191, Cody Fox
This
and
is
Jose
Cody
Arena
Fox.
signing off.